What's up, guys? Welcome to the Wild Card. My name is Ty, and today we're going to react to Tucker Carlson discussion about Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson was recently on an interview with Adam Carolla on a discussion about Donald Trump and his arrest, his recent arrest, and his indictment. So I'm gonna play the video as I go through, and I'm gonna just react to it. So let's get right to it, people.
CIA is a totally illegitimate criminal organization unless it is following precisely the orders of the elected president. Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter. So he's describing a crime. The people committing that crime in CIA should be in prison for long terms. That's the great threat to democracy right there. And the fact that no one on that set could even see that tells you how deeply corrupted they are. That's terrifying. And it's true, I happen to know. And I could bore you for hours, again, since I spent my life there and know a lot of people who work there. But the bottom line is there's no oversight at all. They were able to participate in the murder of a U.S. president and then hide that fact for 60 years by keeping those documents classified, which they still are. It's
And for the people that don't know what he was talking about, just to catch you guys up, he actually talking about the assassination of JFK. That was before our time. And he talking about the CIA's involvement in it, along with the deep state, who people really don't, people that's just starting to find out, they really don't know who they are. But we talking about deep state political officials and the unelected bureaucrats that's actually in our own government that's doing this. And these are the same people that's attempting to send Donald Trump to prison, for literally nothing, because they dictators and they think that they can do whatever they want to do. All right, let's get back to it.
unbelievable. And it's happening in front of all of us, and nobody seems to care. But, as the country declines and the democratic institutions weaken, and you wonder, how did this happen? Well, that's how it happened, right there.
What do you think the future holds? Is it,
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times, and every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously.
And there you go. He said the key word, assassination. Now, for people who have not been following, when Donald Trump was elected, my thing is I always go back to the beginning. Before Donald Trump even ran for president, everybody loved Donald Trump. He was, I'm a big WWE fan. He was actually, I think in WrestleMania, Billionaire versus Billionaire with Vince McMahon. He was everywhere. People loved him. He even in the movie Home Alone 2, everywhere. He used to show up to the fights. A lot of the rappers used to, idolize him and everything. And they had him in, they used to do a lot of things with Donald Trump. But the second he ran for president, all of a sudden he's a racist. It's just politics, and politics is a dirty game. And personally, I don't think that he actually would have took that job, without a certain level of protection. That's just my opinion. These people have been coming after him for everything. They've been trying to indict him. They didn't impeach this guy twice. They done went after his family. They done did everything that they can possibly do to him. And then this recent indictment ain't do nothing but make him popular. It seemed like it made him even more popular. They gave him a mug shot. And it just, essentially it just turned him into something else. It's infamous. It just, turned him into essentially a god, just about, to where they came. I just think he's untouchable at this point. Something would have happened already. And then he bring up assassination. I also heard Alex Jones mention that. He actually brought that brought it up as far as like he think that they go try to assassinate Trump. So my opinion is, even if they, let's just say if they do try to pull it off, you know, they got the resources, they got money, they billionaires. You know, let's just say that they do. They can hire some whack job to make an attempt on that. But what happens to the economy after that? What happens to, I mean, what's the aftermath of an assassination of Donald Trump? A civil war, civil unrest, an economic collapse, a Great Depression. I mean, we're in inflation and a recession right now. A depression means everything stops. People will be fighting for food and resources at that point. If you think the cities of New York and California is bad, I mean, that's just a glimpse of what's to come. And the weirdest thing is, people is acting like they okay with it. You know, when Donald Trump was president, man, everybody was actually doing pretty good, you know, financially. You know, the country was flourishing. But as soon as you get Biden in, I mean, look at everything that happened. The banking collapse. Look at the economy right now. People ain't got money. People getting evicted. You know, it's a lot of fighting going on. It's robberies. The crime rate is it's just crazy right now. And nobody seems to be talking about Hunter Biden and his crimes, or the mainstream media don't seem to want to do anything about that. But they going after Donald Trump for basically questioning his own election about cheating. That don't make no sense. Let's continue with the video.
And no one will say that, but I don't know how you can't reach that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, they have decided, permanent Washington, both parties have decided that there's something about Trump that's so threatening to them, they just can't have him. I mean, they're putting him on trial in March of next year in the J6 case, which basically consists of trying to send him to prison for the rest of his life for complaining about the last election. That's literally what it is. Again, if this were happening in Moldova, the State Department would issue an all-hands-on-deck order to let the world know this is not a legitimate government. And yet, our government is doing it. It's like it's hard to overstate how bad this is, and I'm not.
And I gotta agree with him, man. It's pretty bad. You know, we living in uncertain times right now, and it is scary to think about certain stuff like that. But the thing is, right now in this economy, man, we cannot afford to be scared. You know, this is a real time. We are at war, and we are at war with people that look, you know, they have God complexes. They think that they overlords. They get to decide who lives and who dies, and you know, who gets to be rich and who gets to be poor, and they just oversee everything, and they tell everybody what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You know, this is our country. You know, we live by the Constitution. We don't live in a dictatorship. Everything that they said about Donald Trump, they actually projected the things that they actually was doing. Everything that they said about him, they actually doing it. It's like a one-party rule. You know, rules for thee, not for me. That's how these people think. They crazy. They whacked out. That's how they operate. You know. But these are the times that we living in, man. And these are the times that people literally have to wake up. I see some people turning and they have regrets about voting for Joe Biden. But in the next election, man, it has to be like, you know, this the way that it has to go. You know, it's either, you know, we both parties, this is a fight for good and evil. You know, and Trump is that he actually represents the good, and of course, the powers that be, they represent bad for the people that don't know, in dummy terms. I hear people waking up. I talk to people offline about it. What do I think? Because I look at this stuff every day. I don't know. I'm like everybody else. I'm just a normal person. You know, I just look at the stuff and I get, you know, I just analyze it as I go. If it's a civil war, then so be it. We can't afford to be afraid. Ain't nobody gonna come in and swoop and save us from these people. There's no Superman. There's no superhero out there that's gonna go and do it. Donald Trump, is one man. He can't do it by himself. We the people have to get behind him and help him out with this. You know, if you go vote, you need to vote right, and you need to start making the right choices in life. It's time to be responsible and stop being irresponsible. Tucker Carlson said it. I heard Alex Jones say it. You know, people got to be mindful of these things to come. That's my take on the situation, man. If you like the content, man, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and support the movement. My name is Ty. Welcome to the Wild Card. God bless y'all. Peace. I'm out.